to the one and only OG, Renee Veronique Parker, my lovely, beautiful mother.
Well, thank you, my boy. It's so nice to be here.
Welcome to the Canton Parker podcast.
Oh, thank you, my sweetie.
For someone that has seen the entire journey of me, literally, from the ups and downs, the growing up, the hard days, the good days, the funny days. I know you were telling me before we started that there are so many stories that you and my sister Genevieve apparently have a library of.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe we get into, maybe we don't. But yeah, I couldn't think of anyone else that I wanted to join me for season 1 of the Canton Parker podcast titled Friends and Family, a collection of stories, than my own mother. Because you've been with me in everything. You've allowed me to explore. You've allowed me to stuff up, and eyes go big, and just kind of be found in a space to figure it out. You've given me a cool platform and opportunity to grow as a kid, and obviously now as an adult. But you also allowed me to like the things I like. And one of those is obviously gaming. But yeah, so welcome. Hello.
Thank you.
Tell us, and I'm going to get straight into it.
Okay, let's go.
So obviously I'm a gamer. You know that. You probably more than most people know I'm big into gaming. Not only just now, but do you remember like Christmas? Yeah, I knew like you would get me like a PlayStation 2 game and you would wrap it, and like the day before Christmas I would go and I'd open it and I'd pull the box out and I would take the disc out and I would put a different disc in and I'd put it back in, and then I would finish the game that night before Christmas, so that on Christmas Day, or maybe you don't know that story.
You're such a brat. I didn't know that story.
But being a gamer and everything, alongside that, obviously gaming industry, I've touched on this so many times, gaming industry and the toy industry infuse into each other quite a lot. Toy industry, a lot of people don't know this.
A lot of people.
You were Barbie South Africa.
That's right. I was the first real live Barbie.
Wow. What year was this?
Oh, gosh, we're talking about 30 odd years ago.
Wow.
33, 34, 35 years ago. It's a long time ago. It was a very special time because it was interacting with children, which is my passion, as you know. And on so many different levels. I mean, first, I had to dress like the Barbie doll. So I had a dressmaker. And then every year they would have 4 themed Barbies that used to come out. And then I would get each outfit. The only problem is that they came from the States, and there they had winter when we had summer. So I had to wear the winter clothing in summer, the winter outfits. But it was all cool. I ran the Barbie fan club. We had 64,000 members. We ran the fan club. We did promotions. We used to do in-store promotions everywhere, like Dress Like Your Barbie Doll competitions. And gosh, it was absolutely amazing. And Barbie tea parties all over the country. I would have up to like 350 little girls with their Barbie dolls. And then we would have Dress Like Your Barbie Doll competitions. And that was awesome until it got sad. Because if you look out there, a lot of competitions, especially for little girls, the mothers are very big behind it. And it's like the mothers are living that dream that they want through their daughters. And
that is sad.
It is sad. I would be one of the judges, of which I never wanted to be, because I don't think Barbie should judge one little girl against another. And then, you know what, I'd find these little girls coming up and they were so shy in it, until one day the parents were really pushing this little girl and she didn't want to go up. And the next minute she came up and she wet herself on the stage.
Oh, shame.
And I said, you know what, that's it. That is it. I will from now on never judge again. So from that day on, all the competitions for little girls with their Barbies, I walked with each one. I took them by the hand. I walked up to the judges, turn them around, and off again.
Wow.
So it was a very, very wonderful time.
Yeah, it must have been a beautiful experience.
I was the editor of the Barbie magazine. It did phenomenal. It was stunning. 64,000 members. I had a secretary. She used to help answer all the mail. And the sad part of it is that I worked at the Child Protection Unit. So you would let little girls writing their deepest secrets to Barbie. So a lot of abuse. So we would then get the address, try and find out the schools in the area of this little girl's address, and find out if she's in that school. And then we would send counsellors in to get them counselled. And a lot of people don't know that side of it.
Yeah.
They just look at the glamour side of it.
Yeah, a lot of it is the highlight reel of, hey, it's Barbie, but there's still real life. And a lot of the young girls were looking at Barbie as some as a parental figure, but some as just, I aspire to be. And still, that's Barbie today. They recently released the Barbie movie, and everyone's looking at Barbie as, hey, that's me. And what Barbie is it's more than just a toy. It's a identity to some degree.
It's like a role model.
100%.
But the sad thing, going back to the role model side, is that every little girl wants the figure of Barbie.
Wow.
Every little girl wants to look like Barbie. And that is not obtainable.
That in and of itself is maybe not Barbie, or correct me if I'm wrong. Like the ethos behind it is your inner Barbie is maybe what it is.
But the thing is that every little girl's special. And you know what? It doesn't matter what you look like. You know what? I do children's transport, as you know. And I'm always having the kids up and down about racist and this and that. And I say, it doesn't matter. You know what? Pull off all your skin. It's a handful. We're all the same underneath. Does it really matter? What matters is your soul. And you growing as a human being and like doing important things in your life. Going the extra mile to be kind and having compassion. Not only for those, but for animals and so much more.
And everyone, yeah. So with being Barbie, like, and thank you for all of that. That was fantastic.
Sorry.
No, like I love it because, I tell people this all the time. Like, my mom used to be Barbie. And they're like, what? No, she wasn't. And then I Google Renee Parker Barbie and the pictures come up and they're like, bro, there's no way. I'm like, bro, my mom's a toy. But like, how does someone get into that? Like, obviously this is like 30 years ago. So, the time then was very different.
Yeah, so working for the toy company, which I did.
Which is Mattel, I think.
Yeah, you can say. And doing reception work, doing secretarial work and whatever. I never really cared much about my appearance. Ponytail, I am who I am. Anyway, it was a Christmas party and I decided, okay, the staff's party, I'm going to get dressed up. And I got this lovely little dress and I took my hair out of my ponytail, did my hair. Because at that time, they were interviewing for girls to be Barbie.
Oh, wow.
And
like secretly or?
No, they would come to the company.
Okay.
So they were interviewing them and I'd see this and I'd go, oh, how cool would that job be? And after that Christmas party, that's when I ended up being chosen.
So wait, hang on a minute. It was a Christmas staff party, like an end-year function if you want to call it. And these scouts, recruiters, whatever you want to call them, they were just...
Well, the directors of the company.
They were just there.
Yes.
It so happened chance, looking for a Barbie South Africa. Yeah. And you were just a staff member attending. And never mind everyone else that wanted to actually be Barbie, you were just like, hey, I just want to dress up cute or whatever. And they were like, wait, hang on a minute. That person... That's pretty cool.
And it was amazing because I also used to help do showroom displays. So I was always helping display the Barbie dolls because, there's a certain way you have to display them. Mattel would come from overseas and they would say, you can't put her head like this, you've got to tilt it a bit.
Wow, okay.
You've got to have her hand up a bit. But the thing is that side was okay. But the side that I think was very important is how you are with children, how you are with those little girls out there.
Because those are, quote unquote, the future Barbies.
Yes. Yeah. And you know what, just to be there for them, especially with the fan club, that was really important because you would some of the letters were just astonishing.
I can imagine.
You know? But yeah, that was a really good... The sad thing was is that Granny, Veronique Grant, she would carry my Barbie photos in her bag. And I mean, as the years go by and you have two wonderful children and your body kind of does its thing, and she'd go, remember when you looked like us, you can do it again.
Oh, wow.
You can do it. I'm going, no.
That's like the worst motivation
I ain't
ever.
gonna do it.
Yeah, it's quite weird. Sorry, just to pivot a bit. It's weird how all the women in our family have French names.
Oh, yes.
Like I'm going to butcher it in the French pronunciation, but it's Renée Veronique.
Yes.
Then my sister is Geneviève Veronique.
Yeah.
And then my granny is Adrienne Veronique.
Yeah.
And I'm Canton.
And apparently, and you got your beautiful little niece, my granddaughter, and
Michaela.
she's Michaela Veronique.
Yeah.
So what I could understand from my grandmother was that Veronique came from an old lady who had 100 cats.
Oh, my gosh.
Her whole property was cats and cats. Obviously, those days they didn't know much about sterilizing. But
Wow, 100 cats.
Yeah.
That sounds like one headache of a lady. Like, I mean, just having cats in general. Don't at me in the comments. But, okay.
Oh, you better be careful.
Yeah. But, we spoke about this off camera, but the conversations we can have is like we can go for hours. Like already I'm like, oh, let's go here. But we've mentioned cats now, and cats being obviously animals. Not a whole lot of people can see it on your shirt, but you have a logo there, which is Cause for Paws,
Correct.
which not a whole lot of people know is your organization.
Correct.
You are in the forefront, on the front line, in the battlefield, in the thick of it when it comes to saving animals' lives. Because a lot of the times it's very easy to value human life, which obviously we have to, but value life, full stop. And a lot of the times, not a lot of the times, primarily most of the time, animals can't really defend themselves when it comes to people because, we're much stronger, all the stuff in between. And so animals normally get the bad end of the stick when it comes to life because, we can go out and buy food. What does an animal do? They're not going to walk into a Checkers and go like, oh, can I please have, you know what I mean? And it takes a lot of special individuals to recognize that animals also need to be taken care of. And so your organization does that. And do you want to at least tell me a little bit of how you got into that? But probably more than getting into it, why you keep staying into it?
It's going back to, love, compassion, and kindness, which I've hoped that those qualities are very, very important. So I used to go into the township to help with the children. So I don't only have Cause for Paws, but I've got Child Reach, which is for the children. So it started off with the children, okay? And it was wonderful because that township is one of the poorest townships and one of the most violent townships.
Oh, wow.
We have deaths every day. You don't even hear it on the radio. You don't even hear it in the magazines. I actually get hold of the newspapers and say, can you just come and do, there's, an article on what's going on. But
just a little bit of attention.
For the police to come in is another story. For the SPCA to come in is another story.
Oh, wow.
So anyway, I started with the dogs. And unfortunately, the abuse was very hectic. Very, very hectic. So, for instance, you would have a shack, because it's like all shacks. So now you're going to work, you would have a dog on a chain. You'd maybe throw out a handful of millipup once or twice a week. And you'll give them a little bit of water now and again. So the dogs in that township were literally like this.
Like literally skinny.
They would stab the dogs. I mean, in 1 month we had 8...
What?
In 1 month, we had 8 dogs' eyes stabbed out. Say 9. Charlie was lucky. Charlie, it was just one eye. Now, Charlie is amazing. He belongs to an old man in the township. When he hears my car coming in, he runs. We go into my clinic, and he comes and he spends the whole day with us. And he is there to stay. But if he wants to go back to his owner, he can. But we have some, oh, my word, I mean, it's hard to say. The one day about 2-3 years ago, little boy came on his bicycle riding. Please, you've got to come, this guy's stabbing his dog. And it's just had puppies. So there I went.
Wow.
In. He'd tied her to the fence with wire and whatever, and he was stabbing her breast where her milk is, and the puppies were screaming. I just pushed him flying. He cracked a beer thing as well he wanted to stab me with, as well as his knife. I don't know how I got it off. All I can say that God was with me that day. You know, that he brings me to it, and he gets me through it. So anyway, got her off. I was drenched in blood, got her into my vehicle, raced like hell to the vet. She was in there for 3 weeks with Dr. Dave Erasmus from Kebler Park Vet. He was phenomenal with her. Today, she's in the most beautiful home, and we've called her Angel. So that's what happens when we do a lot of rescues.
And that's probably a lot of that.
Yeah, so what we did, I rode back in. Couldn't find the puppies. They were so militant, and there was no way I was going to get those puppies. I did everything. So that little boy that let me know, he lives right next door in the shack. I said, here's my number. I don't care what time of night or day you phone me, I'm coming. Oh, it was about 1 o'clock in the morning. He phones me.
My days.
I said, I'm coming in. I drove through the township, get to that shack. And there he is. He said, they've thrown the puppies in the yard. We broke the fence open. He got under the fence, gave me the puppies, and I rode like hell out of there. Obviously can't keep them at my clinic because he'll come and break in. So, and I mean, they were just born, they were tiny. Raced through to the New Hope Dog Rescue that used to be in Drumblade. And Olivia was amazing. She took them in. There we go. Every 2 hours, bottle feeding. So that's what we deal with.
That's a lot of what you do.
And the thing is that, like, we get a lot of poisonings. So, for instance, if they want to break into a shack while the people are at work, they poison the dog. So one night, this is crazy, and it happens a lot, and unfortunately we get to some and we don't get to some. So what they do is they poison, because nobody keeps their dogs in shacks. So what they do is that they poison the mother dog. Then they watch to see when she dies and there's no noise, they grab the puppies and then they go and sell them.
Oh, wow.
They're going to die. It's so sad.
Yeah.
Anyway, that one night we had, we don't know how many, but 3 dogs that were poisoned mother dogs. The owners heard and they rushed them to us. So Wisdom phones me, come quickly. I don't know, it was about 11 o'clock at night or something. Rushing there with him on the way to the vet. We go to the New South Vet.
That place.
Yeah, in Glenvista. And they were amazing. But unfortunately, 2 of them died.
Sure.
So the one they managed to save. Now, we've got puppies that are from a few days old to like a week or so old. And yeah, as a team, we work together. And then we have to start bottle feeding those puppies. Like every 2 hours to 3 hours.
It sounds like you, and just listening to you, it's hard work. And it's not just hard work, it's heartache of work. And, you know, I can imagine, but you still keep doing it.
Yeah.
And you show up every day. I mean, not a whole lot of people know this, but just before we started recording, I had to tell you, Mom, you have to put your phone on silent and you have to bury it deep in the deep freeze of the fridge. Also, I didn't say that. But my point is, like, because your phone is always going mad because people call you for help. Yeah. Especially in the context of the township, and you're the one lady, Barbie, just like on mission. You know what I mean? And it's like you're willing to be, you're willing to be found in the fire of those that can't really help themselves, and not necessarily help themselves. Maybe they can, but they have no one. Yeah. Especially when it comes to animals, and you know that's hard work, and it's early mornings, late hours. And, you know, I touched on it already, but heartache.
It is.
Like it hits a nerve. Not necessarily how do you, but why do you keep going?
Because it's such a passion of mine. And I think that God plays a very big thing in my life. So I think He's got a road that you need to follow, His road for you. And I humbly believe that He's put me there because He gets me to it. It's heartbreaking. I mean, Wisdom and myself will be crying hysterically, but He gets us through it. And so it's hard going in, but once you've changed that dog's life for the better, then like you've changed his life, you've taken him away, you've healed him, you rehabilitated him, you sterilize him, you make sure the vaccinations are done. Then we take them and we put them into rescue centres like your Woodrock, your Fora, your Volpex, your Puppy and Kitty Haven. There are so many. And those people are wonderful because what they do is that they are so strict with their adoptions. They go and do home checks. They do financial checks. And if it's an older dog where we have sterilised, vaccinated, rehabilitated, great. But if they take a puppy, they have to sign a document by law that puppy's got to be returned to sterilise between 5 and 6 months. If they don't, that puppy is still our property.
Oh, so there's a bit more of a checklist to ensure that,
yes,
hey, this dog is going to be taken care of.
You don't want people taking dogs and breeding with them.
Absolutely.
I mean, we don't like breeders. If we could do away with breeders, we will. Because, every dog bred is one rescue dead. Just in Gauteng alone.
It has to rhyme. Then it only makes sense.
No, but I mean, all the rescues within Gauteng, Pretoria, and not rescues, SPCAs, they euthanize over 1,000 animals a day. Can you understand that? It is very sad. And let me tell you, there's nothing better than a rescue. Oh, my word. They live longer. They are healthier. Let me tell you, a rescue really loves. They will love you unconditionally. There is no other love out there that you can find than a rescue dog.
Yeah.
But the thing is that's on the sad side. On the good side, we try and get donations in. Look, it's been hard since COVID. But if we get food donations in, we hand food out every 6 to 8 weeks. But every 6 weeks, we deworm and we do tick and flea baths for all the dogs. And which is wonderful because then we're bringing the biliary rate down. Because now you must know with the tick bite fever.
Oh, wow.
And that is terrible because it attacks the kidneys and it's a long process to get them healthy.
Just another headache.
Yeah, and so what we do is that we do the tick and flea things. And then we hand the food out. What we do, we ask people out there to give us second-hand blankets. And if they're moving or whatever, if they don't want because this is also what happens. You get this little dog and you think, oh, wow, you're so cute, I'm going to buy you a pretty big house. And they buy the stunning kennel. They put beautiful little blankets in, and then a cat will sleep in the kitchen. A cat will just sleep on the floor. A cat will sleep on my bed. And we get donated some really nice kennels sometimes.
Which is great, actually.
It is
and
great.
You need it.
But we do a lot of education, a hell of a lot. We also go to schools and do talks as well.
Which is good. It's educating people to know what's happening.
And I promise you, when I'm finished walking out there to school, those kids are crying their eyes out, and that's what I want. I want them to know when they get home that is a 15-year commitment. They need love just like you and me.
Yeah, a dog is not... Okay, you're going to understand this. A dog's not a Barbie doll. It's not a toy.
They are all my Barbie dolls.
But maybe...
No, but let me tell you something. They've got compassion. They feel pain like we do. They get upset like we do. I mean, you've got Og. I think he's beautiful. He's my grandchild.
My little flat-faced croissant.
But you can see when he's not happy.
Yeah.
You can see when he's happy. Okay, you tell me. Okay. When you walk in the door, who is more excited to see you?
Shannon, because he stays in his bed and goes, "You got snacks?" No, yeah, he does come greet me, but he's one of those dogs that are like, nah, come love me. Anyway, but I think to pivot there, with all the hardship and the heartache and the love, you mentioned the word passion. You'll be
compassionate.
Well, you mentioned passion because you're passionate about it, but you'll be shocked to know that the word passion, its root word is a Latin word by the name of pati, and pati, P-A-T-I, and pati its meaning means to suffer, and that's where we get the word passion from. And it's quite interesting to find that if you're willing to find what you are willing to suffer for, you'll be able to find what you're passionate about. And it's the early morning, it's the late night, it's all this stuff that you go through that enables you, and it's the fuel in the tank to just keep going. It's another dog. It's another person. Oh, let's help. Where can we plug this? Where can we plug that? And so well done to you. It's a lot of hard work. I can only imagine when you leave here after this episode, you're going into the thick of it yet again. And yeah, so well done to you. But I think to pivot, I've been a movie of a child growing up.
That you have.
That I have. And you've gotten not only a front row seat, but you were the sound engineer, the grip, the everything. I mean, and I mentioned it in the beginning, but you helped me, well, not necessarily help me. You did help me, but you gave me a space to just be. Like, from obviously gaming, which like has been part of my life forever.
Absolutely.
Like in the thick. There came a point where I stopped pretending I was sick to stay at home from school to play games, to just telling you, I just want to stay home and play games. And you're like, oh, okay, whatever. And like, that was cool for me. I don't know if that was the best parenting, but I mean, it was great. You allowed me to
grow in your own space.
100%.
And to me, I find that creativity is very, very important in life. You know what? It's not all about everybody wants to be a rocket scientist.
Exactly.
Everybody wants to be a lawyer and a doctor. I mean, I do this with the kids that I transport. And I say to them, do not stress. Don't stress. Just take it. And whatever you feel good about, go with it.
Exactly.
And I mean, you were like this little bugger. No, I need to tell you.
I feel like there was another word you could have used there.
When you were in St. Martin's, I think it was grade 6.
Okay.
5 or 6, you started making movies and putting them on DVD.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah, with like the Mark Parenkas and the David Jasper.
Mark's actually going to feature on the podcast in one of the seasons, yeah.
David Jasper, Leandra Kumbra, Lorenzo Soso.
I love how you mention everyone's surnames.
Oh, gosh. Did I say Mark Fulton?
Oh, yeah.
Mark Fulton wanted to move in with us. So that was great
Very nice.
with all your friends. I mean, they used to sleep over every weekend and holidays. I would be climbing over bodies.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I think the once I had maybe like 7 friends sleep over at once.
I'm sure it was
and we
more.
used to play games.
And Stocky and Trent and all of them. And then I would be sleeping and then all of a sudden I'd wake up and there would be this face there, nearly next to me. And I'd go, yo, what? And it would be like Lorenzo or...
Like, hey, you got snacks?
Or Leandro. Leandro would go, please, don't you want to make us toasted sandwiches at 2 in the morning? I'm like, really, dude? Okay.
Yeah.
But those are fun. But going back to that, so you would make DVDs and sell it to their parents for 50 Rand.
I was a hustler.
I'm like, really? But you were so good at it.
Sure.
You really were. And then you got all the equipment that you needed because you were always computer literate. You taught yourself. That's one thing I'm very proud of. It doesn't matter what you touch.
Sure.
You are phenomenal with it.
Oh, thank you.
And a lot of people don't like that fact. I mean, if you remember, I have to say this, but I mean, Michael Darby at Waterstone just said, you will never amount to anything.
Yeah.
You know?
I remember that.
Which is so sad because creativity is a big thing in your life. But anyways, so you would sell the DVDs. Then you started designing business cards and flyers.
I remember that.
So now I'm in the kitchen and I'm having my coffee all nicely. And this dude walks in a suit and he goes, Canton, please. I go, sure.
I remember that.
Why have I got men in suits in his bedroom?
That sounds weird when you say it that way.
I know. And yeah, you are designing their cards and their flyers and everything. And then I'd walk in and go, would you like tea or coffee? So
yeah, it's weird. You were like my
your little
secretary kind of thing, like tea, coffee. I remember, and obviously you know this.
Yeah.
I know a few people online know this, but you know, I still do that to this day. I do design photography and video for people. I'm part of an incredible agency called WOM Agency, and we do a lot of cool things for a lot of cool people.
That's amazing.
And what's so cool is back in the day when I was working for Soul Candy Records and Universal Music, I had, when I was still in my bedroom living obviously with you, it was like, I brought a lot of these people to the house.
Yes.
And I converted my bedroom into kind of like a makeshift office where I had like a sleeper couch. So during the day it was like studio office, but then at night you drop and you like, you know, pass out. But like we've had Mikasa at the house and here you are, this lady walking around coffee, tea, cookies, anybody want? And yeah, it's like, what is going on? We're in like this house and we're doing a photo shoot.
Then they would all change their outfits and they're in their underpants. I'm going, let me get my camera. I can make some money, yeah.
You didn't do that.
I didn't do that.
But you wanted to do that.
No, I wouldn't do that.
But yeah, still to this day, you know, like.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I met some lovely people, but I must tell you, all of them were so special and a lot of them were so humble.
Yeah.
I mean, like I look at Mikasa, they are such beautiful Christians.
Sure. Yeah.
And the fact that before they do the shoot, you would actually pray.
Well, I didn't, but I mean, that was cute.
Well, they would pray, you know. And it was like really amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, you've just grown from strength to strength. I'm so proud of you. I really am.
I appreciate that. Yeah, it's been a fun journey. It's been a interesting journey where there's been a lot of ups and downs, a lot of confusion, a lot of figuring it out along the way, as you do in life. That's just life. And I've been privileged enough to work with a lot of cool people. I've had a lot of incredible people found in my corner. I've had the odd few, like you've mentioned, where I've been told, you're not going to amount to anything, and you know, that's not going to work out. And I don't even want to say like, you know, and then I looked at them and I was like, just you watch. Like, it wasn't even like that for me.
Never like it.
And still to this day, I don't care. Like, hey, bro, I'm going to do this whether you like it or not, whether you want it or not.
Yeah.
And you know what? It might not work out, but at least I'm having fun during the process of it. And, you know, money will come, and you know, I think for me, for the most part, as long as fulfillment's there, and I think that's probably why even you do what you do to this day with Cause for Pause, is that you want to have fun, but not just necessarily have fun. You want to be able to hit your head down on a pillow at night and at least go, hey, I did that and I enjoyed that. Yeah.
No, absolutely, especially like saving a life. Okay, I lost you today, but I saved that one.
Sure.
Now that one, I'm going to put every effort in to make sure. I mean, it's very humbling with what I do, and I must tell you, you're very humbling.
Oh, am I?
You are, because
good to know.
Like I see you doing all of these amazing things, but you don't like make a big hoo-ha about it.
No.
Like now you've been,
because there's no point.
You know what I say? As long as it fulfills my soul, that's who's the most important.
I keep saying this. If I made content. Now, I do content for a lot of people in general, but I also do my own content, and that's the gaming stuff.
Yeah.
And now, obviously, the podcast and everything. But I keep saying to myself, if my wife, if Shannon is the only person that watches this content and looks at me and goes, I love it. Cool, I've made it then. Because I don't do this for the views. I don't do this for the follows. I don't do this for anyone else, but first and foremost for me. I know that sounds very selfish, but like, I want to be able to look at it and go, that was cool, I enjoyed that. But then hey, if my wife likes it, like, you also like it? Oh, my mom watched it, she also likes it. Oh, my friends watched it, they also like. All these people also watched it and like it. Okay, that's cool. But yeah, I don't do it for hype.
Yeah. I mean, I have the same problem with, unfortunately, look, Facebook, I've been in Facebook jail more than you would ever know.
Facebook jail, that sounds like...
The longest I've been like 3 times on 90 days.
Oh, wow.
But it's because I post my casualties.
Yeah.
I'm not putting it to get likes. I'm not putting it to be a hero.
Probably just more
Not
awareness?
at all. No.
Okay.
Well, yes, I'm putting it out there because I need funding to pay my veterinary bills. My veterinary bills can go up to 25,000 Rand a month.
Oh, my gosh.
That is why. So Facebook just block it and block it. The other day they blocked me and I had a bad casualty. And I spent, you must know, once I've changed that, I'm over that. Now I've got to post it. So I'll go through that same emotional thing again by posting it. And then Facebook says, I'm using other people's content and images to get more likes. That is my images.
Yeah.
And I just think it's so sad because at the end of the day, it's about those without a voice. It's those that I want to help and I need the funding. So, yeah, but it would be nice if you liked my posts sometimes.
I think Facebook is the one platform where, like, I post to Instagram, and because Instagram, they're part of Meta.
Yeah.
Instagram can automatically share to Facebook. So for me, I only go on Facebook just to Okay, what's happening? What's happening there? Cool, great, thank you, bye.
Okay.
But I'm primarily on Instagram. So Facebook, oh man, like, oh yeah, cool, whatever.
I must get into Instagram.
Get into Instagram
No,
because
but you know what my problem is?
it's a bit more, in my opinion, it's a bit more direct and a little bit more relational because like Instagram is a little bit easier to be on, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's for the older crowd as well.
Facebook, yes, is for the older crowd. In my opinion, I might be terribly wrong. Don't at me, but whatever.
Yeah, but the thing is that, you know what happens with me is that, you know, I do children's transport. I run Cabbies United. So I leave at 6 in the morning, get the kids to school by 7:30, get to the clinic by 7:45, leave the clinic at 1:30, get back to the school to give the kids a lift home. By the time I'm finished, because I got extramurals, and I'm in Waterstone, I've got a stunning program. By the time I get home at night, it's 6, 7 o'clock. Now I've got to try and catch up. I end up opening my WhatsApp with like 200 messages. Oh, my cat's sick. It's got a sore eye with 1,000 pictures. Oh, my dog's tail skew. You know, I'm like, really? Wow. And you know what? You can't be rude to people.
No.
You've got to be out there because... And then I end up falling asleep and not doing it. Now the next day comes. Because I haven't done the days before, now I've got like 400 messages. And then I get people being really, really rude that I haven't come back to them.
Oh, gosh.
And I'm like, please.
Tell them to fold themselves into a ball and roll down a hill.
But I must say, your journey with me has been brilliant.
Yes, I remember, like, you've been the mom that has been so present in everything. I can at least one day when I'm taking my last breath, I can at least say, hey, I've had a mom that was there for everything and was just willing to just be in the room. Like to the degree where obviously I mentioned you allowed me to just be and you were like very supportive, very involved to the degree where when I was in school and they had that like extramural enrichment classes, they were like, oh, we need cooking enrichment classes. And you were like, oh, I'll do that. And then it was like, yeah, I'll just go with my mum kind of thing. And it was like,
I loved it.
Yeah, it was cool. Hey, I remember I ran into a sliding door because someone rubbed onion in my eye. Do you remember that? Because we would stuff around during the class. It was like we were in high school, whatever.
What about when I locked you in the tuck shop?
You locked me. I've still got a scar. I've got a scar on my arm here. You can't see it. But I was in grade 7, 6. I was 12, 13 years old.
Because, you know, I gave up my career for you, to be with you.
Yeah.
So what I did is I worked in the tuck shop. I ran the tuck shop for the PSA. And then you fell asleep behind the counter on the floor.
No. That's not the story. Okay. I remember the room of it. And there was like a little step by the counter. Okay. And I needed to read for whatever freaking reason of a class. And I sat there reading this book, bored out of my mind, just so I can read it. So I was very quiet and I was just sitting there. And you were like cashing up, you were doing whatever. And I was there for hours. And I think like 2-3 hours went by.
And I couldn't find you.
And I was still reading and I was like, okay, I'm so bored. I would like to go home now. So I stood up, and as I stood up, the alarm went off in this fully stone brick building. Yeah. And so that alarm, as a 12-year-old, was so intense in that room. I honestly felt like my eardrums were going to burst. And I panicked, as you do as a kid.
Yeah.
And so I punched the glass out because I couldn't get out. Everything was locked. So I punched the glass door. I think it was a glass door.
It was.
And normally when you punch glass, you're supposed to punch and pull out, where I punched and followed through. Yeah. And because I followed through, the glass cut my whole arm open and there was blood everywhere. I remember I got live stitches because of that. Like I was watching the bra stitching my arm together and I was like, oh my gosh. And yeah, so that was a fun experience because you forgot me in the tuck shop.
Well, what about our other tuck shop memory? So now I'm working in the tuck shop.
Which one's this?
And everybody's in class. And Mrs. Wood, she was studying. So she sends Miss Stockler to the tuck shop. And she says, Auntie Renee, does Canton Lee have an uncle called Bob? I'm going, what do I say? Oh, gosh, he hasn't said anything to me. I better not lie, because if I lie, I'm going to get caught. I thought, well, you know what? If he's done the crime, he's going to have to do the time.
Oh, gosh.
So I said, no, he doesn't.
Yeah.
You used to sign all your schoolwork. No, I never ever got anything to sign. And you used to put Uncle Bob, and used to go, Bob's my uncle.
Yeah, Bob's my uncle. So I still kind of am, but I'm good. I'm good at like faking signatures because like signatures have like a twang to them. So it's very easy for me, at least, to make a signature look legit.
Yeah.
So I would sign my own exams and papers and homework and whatever. And she's like, oh yeah, my uncle signed it. And until the one day, I think this teacher was like,
Shame
Bob,
she was
you got an Uncle Bob? And I was like, yeah, no, I've got an Uncle Bob. And like, nah, you don't have an Uncle Bob. But in school, I think there's been so many stories in good, bad, happy, sad, funny. A lot of memories still to this day where I look back on and I'm like, oh, that was a pretty fun time.
We had a lot of fun times. I mean, if I think at at St. Martin's, with running the tuck shop, I had a beautiful group of mothers that would help. And we would do themes.
Oh, wow.
We'd do like Shrek. When the movie Shrek came out, we all went to hire costumes. And then we went to McDonald's and we bought all the Shrek toys and all the Shrek meals that we sold. And then if it was Halloween, we were all dressed up as witches. And I mean, we used to have so much fun there. Really a lot of fun.
I was going to say, what was like, and I'm just thinking about it now, I was a handful of a kid.
Oh, yes, you were.
What kept you, one, I think, sane, but what kept you allowing me or just allowing yourself to let me be me?
You know what? It's important
because it's a mother's love.
It is. And you know what? I think a lot of intuition when you know certain things, but you were a little naughty shit. I'm sorry to say. I mean, for instance, we go to Miami.
Miami?
Yeah.
Did I go to Miami?
Yes, you did.
Oh, good to know.
We went to Disney World, but we stayed in Miami.
Okay.
And then the next day we went to Disney World.
Wait, no, I know the story.
And you go missing because your dad went downstairs to get me medication because I was sick. And I'm going, 1 hour's gone past, 2 hours gone past, 3 hours gone past. Now I'm panicking. And I hear nothing. Meantime, your father's running around. They blocked the whole hotel off with cop cars and going into every room. You've gone missing.
Oh, damn.
When he eventually came to the room with you, I'm like, what happened? Did you go back to South Africa to get the medication? No, they've got like those little curio shops. So they've got like T-shirts hanging here and in a rail here. You went underneath the T-shirt and you fell asleep there. So anyway,
I still do that
now
today.
I was so stressed out. So what I did, so when we go into the park and you're on the rides, we get you one of those arm things.
Oh, it's like a leash. It's like a child leash.
Yeah, because you used to just run everywhere. Now you get caught on the ride and it pulls your arm. Well, I felt so guilty. I was like beside myself, but you survived. But you kept on doing that. One night we at a restaurant in Bedfordview and talking to friends and everything. I'm going, where's Canton Lee? There you walk in with a guy right down there. He's got your hand. He's walking out the shopping centre with you. I was
just a friendly kid, okay?
I mean, like Genevieve used to panic. I remember when you were still in your little, the chair we used to carry. You were about
pram thing.
3 months old or something, and I put it on the counter. Oh, you decide to bungee jump out of it, boing on your head.
Oh, sheesh.
Well, Genevieve went hysterical. She pressed all the panic buttons. The paramedics arrived and everything, and they looked at you and they said, "No, you'll be fine."
Oh gosh. So safe to say, I was literally a handful.
No, you were. The day that, actually, I was going to bring it with me, but unfortunately...
Yeah, hold on. Not a lot of people know this. If you're listening or watching this, you literally rocked up with a list. You pulled a list out with all these... Yeah, there we go.
That's my list.
Okay, so hold on. Pick one.
Okay.
We have a bit of time for maybe one. But you got to pick the best one. Or maybe two. If you can go quick, you can do as many as you can.
So first of all, I breastfed you for 3 years.
Yeah, that's why
what you
I
wanted.
never get sick.
That's why you don't
always get sick.
No, but you never got any of the child sick, like
that's
chicken
true.
pox.
Yeah, I didn't get the early child sickness stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, there was time for you to go to nursery school. You were 3 years old.
Okay. Now keep in mind, everyone listening and watching this, I'm hearing these for the first time too.
You used to stand by that gate and scream.
Oh,
so
really?
Borkamiri had like this little pathway going all the way up to the classes. Anyway, I get to pick you up one day and you come running down, but you literally blew around your mouth here and you are crying hysterically, running down. I'm going, what's wrong?
Did I forget my snacks?
I get in there and I said to the teacher, I go, what's going on? No, he was naughty today. I said, what did he do? He had to stand in the corner the whole day. I said, why? No, because he stood on the chair and he pulled a brown out all the girls. I'm like, okay, let's go home.
Thanks for that. This is my child. Okay. And another one?
Okay. Anyway.
Oh, gosh.
So
I don't know. Why am I nervous for these?
So when you were about 2 years old, and you found, now this is what I was going to bring with me, but anyway, you find a little Annie.
Oh, I've heard this story.
Okay. So you're standing with it like this. So I said, give it here. Give here. You go. I said, Canton Lee, give it. Yeah. Spit it in. Yeah, give it here. So you go. I said, don't you put it in your mouth. Please don't put it in your mouth.
Oh, it's like a marble.
Yeah, but it's still.
It's still?
It's still.
Oh, damn.
So you go in your mouth. I said, spit it out. Spit it out. You go, and you swallow it. I went, oh, my nerves. Rush you to the doctor. It's here somewhere in the x-rays. So the doctor said, unfortunately, you're going to have to go through he's you know what every day.
How old is that?
You're about 2.
2 years old?
2.5 years old.
Wow.
You're going to have to go through it every day until you find the Ani. If you don't find the Ani, then we're going to have to operate.
Oh, gosh.
So you know what I had to do?
Oh, like, what's it? Like, yeah, the stuff that makes you do the stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, I kept the Ani. Because I thought, you know what? When you turn 21, I'm going to put it on a cupcake.
That sounds evil.
And anyway, I can't find it. But if I did find it, I was going to give it to you as a gift today.
Thank you. I'm so glad
for everything that I went through.
I'm so glad you didn't find it.
It was the same at Woolworths. You were all sitting in the front of the trolley. So you know when you give the cashier your card, your name is on there. Yeah. So he goes, thank you, Mrs. Parker. You go, how do you know my mother's name? So I go, Kentley, you stand up in there, you go, how do you know my mother's name? How do you know my mother's name? I'm going, Kentley, sit down.
Yeah, I was ready to punch a guy. No, I'm joking. That is mental. Okay, give us one more. Give us one more.
Okay. This is a sad one.
This is a sad one.
So Genevieve got her kind of first boyfriend.
Oh, okay. I know this one.
His name was Albert. Oh, he was such a nice guy. But anyway, he turned 18 and he got gifted a car. Okay, a Golf, a yellow Golf. He was so proud of this yellow Golf. Rushed to our home so he could show Genevieve. Oh, he was so happy. We all sitting inside celebrating. You were outside with Lorenzo Sosa. Anyway, we're very quiet tonight. Now, Albert wants to go home. And he goes outside. And his car's not yellow anymore. It's pink. You and Lorenzo painted it with Genevieve's to take a polish paint.
Yeah.
It was the first time I ever heard Albert swear. He was so upset.
Yeah.
You were fine. You just stood there like this. But Lorenzo was crying his eyes.
Yeah, I think we were, how old? I think we were like 12 or 11 or something.
Even younger.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I remember that. I don't even know why. When I look back, I'm like, I don't know why I did the things I did. I was such a naughty kid. I mean, I'm still kind of a naughty kid. But like, well, let me say I'm not a naughty kid. I know how to push the boundaries in a very controlled manner. Let's put it that way. But yeah, like those stories, I think the cool thing is that you've had a front row seat in everything. You've seen the ups and downs, you've seen the headaches, you've seen the heartaches, but you've seen the celebrations, and you've seen what's worked well, and you've been in my corner to help me celebrate. And it's so cool to see now I am where I am today because I had a mom, literally a soccer mom on the sideline cheering me on every step of the way. And yeah, I think it's something where having a present mom and having a mom in your corner definitely is something that will take you so much further that you'll only really realize much later in life. Mm-hmm. And so thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your compassion. Thank you for putting up with me. And yeah, thank you for everything. And for Cause for Pause, you know, I know you do such incredible work, and I'm hoping people would listen to this and know that they can get involved to help you help others, which is ultimately the goal. And so, yeah, but thanks for being on the podcast. Thanks for coming to share some stuff and exposing me. And I'm excited to see you on the next one.
Thank you, my boy. I just want to say thank you for this beautiful journey we've had together.
Yeah.
And I look forward to so many amazing things I know you're going to do in the future. And good luck with Creative Gamer of the Year.
Oh, yeah, the nomination. Yeah,
yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, we'll see. But yeah, this journey, I don't know how long it will last for, but for the time being, I'm having fun.
That's
and
good.
You never know. This podcast might be the quickest thing to get me cancelled. We'll find out.
No.
But I love you. And
love you, my boy.
I'll check you later.
Okay. Love you, my sweet pea.